Hello everyone, this is Crystal. Welcome to Artantastic, where creativity comes alive. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the notification bell when you subscribe, like and share. I had painted this little forest path a while ago, but I wasn't happy with it, and I know many won't agree with me, but I decided to gesso over it, paint it black. And there you see, you can make out the tree a little bit, but we'll hide that when we paint. So we are going to use several yellows, a couple of browns, some blues and greens. I'm going to list all of these in the description below. I dip my brush in Phthalo Blue and Phthalo Green, and I simply drench the canvas with it. Look at that lovely color. It's a beautiful hue of blue-green, and now with titanium white, I just make little crisscross lines on the canvas, and look, all that color from underneath is all picked up, and I get a beautiful texture. Just look at that. Such a simple thing and a beautiful texture. That's my background of trees in my dark forest. With my fan brush, I add a little yellow and green, just dabbing it, and I instantly get leaves. That's the second layer of my forest. If you've ever spent an evening in the forest when the light is low, you will see how the leaves, just the edges of the leaves, catch the last hint of sunlight. It's a magical sight. And that's what I'm trying to capture here, some of that mysticism and mystery that surrounds a quiet, secluded forest. I imagine this is what the forest would have looked like in the story Storm Gatherers, when Naman, the little boy, was suddenly lost in the dark. I'm adding a touch of deep green just to the edges of the painting so that the viewer is gently guided to focus onto the center of the painting. I've done nothing much, but it's starting to look pretty. With just the tip of my square-headed brush, I'm going to add some grassy areas using just a little bit of green and a touch of yellow. You see, I'm going to layer different planes with the different colors. It doesn't look like much now, but in a few minutes you'll see the difference. By adding different values of greens and yellows, I give the painting a certain depth and dimension, and that's what makes it different. While painting nature scenes like this, it is important for me to actually visualize myself in that mysterious forest, watching the way the light plays on those lovely grassy beds. We have created a nice little path for our Babbling Brook. A few dabs of yellow ochre and it's ready. And for our Babbling Brook, we add just titanium white and simply with the edge of the fan brush, just pull it down like that. And you'll see the color from the canvas simply gets picked up. I'm using only titanium white. And with a few gentle touches of the fan brush, we create a little foam, a few ripples, and all those cheerful little things that makes our happy little brook babble. Have you ever come across a stream or a little brook in a forest? There's something clean and peaceful about it. I want to capture the pure joy of that here. A few touches with this fan brush and in no time you have a magical little waterfall or a babbling brook. It's just the way you dab it. Oh, that's a happy little babbling brook. Let's add a few trees I'm using my ice cream stick and just dabbing with a little burnt umber and Vandyke Red. We don't need a great deal of detail here because those trees are in the distance. Oh, I think I've left a white mark there, but we'll scratch it off. There. It's become another tree trunk now. And a few trees on the other side as well. I love imperfections, so all of my trees will be a little bent and each one has their own character. That's what makes it special. If you look at a tree, it's always different. No two trees are the same, just like people. Each one has their own individuality. And now I'm going to make a large tree. A big one, it'll have more details because it's nearer to us. I'm using again a little burnt umber and a touch of Vandyke Red. And I just, make those branches gnarled and twisted. Give it a little character with a nice strong foot to hold onto the ground firmly. And on the other side as well, another large gnarled tree. These are old sentinels of the forest, probably been around for ages and ages, and we see it in that gnarled bark. I'm just adding a little more texture to make it look a little more roughened. And then we'll add a nice twisted branch so that it can hold all those leaves. There. I'm just adding a few highlights to those grassy beds. Give it a little bit more form and shape and, again, dimension. I'm using just a little ochre yellow, a touch of Vandyke Red, and a little bit of Sap Green, and just dabbing it, just a touch here and there, and it's all done. And you'll see just that little spot of color, a touch with the brush here and there, and it makes such a difference. I think I'll add a touch more of that Vandyke Red. It's a lovely color, and a little bit of yellow ochre to it, and there. I'm just adding a few tiny little highlights now, just showing where the light hits those little blades of grass. It sort of brings the painting quite to life. You'll see. And of course, I am never quite satisfied, so I will keep fussing along with it until I am. But I think it's done now. And now to give our tree some highlight and texture, I'm using the tiniest bit of lime green with titanium white, and all that I'm doing is gently dabbing the knife onto the tree trunk, and instantly I get texture and highlights. Doesn't that tree look so pretty already? And a few highlights on the branches as well. There. That's nice. And I'm doing the same to the other tree as well, adding texture and highlights, just showing where the light hits the trunk. You see how it makes the tree literally come to life. And now let's dress up our tree. I'm using an old brush with very stiff bristles and just dabbing it using several greens. A touch here and a touch there, and I have my tree all ready. And then we'll add a few highlights too. I'm going to add a little bright green with a touch of titanium white for the highlights, just to show where the light hits those leaves, to make it stand out. And you'll see when it's all done, the painting literally leaps to life. This is how I imagine the forest to be, captured in the evening's glow, getting slowly dark, with a little light playing on the leaves here and there. A few final touches, and it's all done, or nearly done. And there it is, my Babbling Brook captured in evening's glow. It's that same magical evening from Storm Gatherers when the forest suddenly burst to life. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it encourages you to make your dreams come to life. And may you cherish the magic of watching it unfold. Thank you for watching.